Now looking at a few expressions that involve percentage, we need to remind ourselves of a couple of things. First of all, the variable, very often we're going to use an X, represents the unknown value that we're going to be searching for. One other vocabulary item, remember that the of typically involves multiplication, and that means multiplication with percentages in our particular situation. When we put our percentages into our expression or into our equation, the percentage is going to have to go in a decimal form. For example, if we were looking at an unknown value x, then if we were talking about something like 10% of a unknown value, then the expression that would describe that would be 0.10 times x. If we were looking at a unknown value w and we wanted to look at 115% of a value, that would be written as 1.15 w. Now, a very common thing for people to do is to forget the variable when they're working with percentages, especially when we're talking about a percent increase or a percent decrease type situation. If we said, for example, that S represented your salary last year, and your salary is going to increase by 3%, then the expression that would describe this would be S for your original salary plus, as in increased, 0.03 would represent the 3%, and we have to understand that this is 3% of your salary, which means 3% times S. If that S is not in there, then what you have written is salary plus 3 cents, not 3%. And the same thing goes for percent decreases. If you wanted to decrease the number of miles, M, that you drove every year by, say, 7%, so if we're going to decrease M by 7%, then that would be M minus, as in decrease, 0.07, as in 7%, times M. Again, if we leave out the M, we've decreased by 7/100ths, not 7%. So with percentages, you always remember, put it in a decimal form. Don't forget to include your variable. And especially when you're increasing and decreasing by percentage, don't forget to include the variable in that case. In an application, we could look at sales tax. Let's say you bought a $20 item, and that was with sales tax already included. And you're questioning, well, what was the price before tax? Well, if you use the state of Virginia for your example, Virginia has a 5% sales tax. So you would, if you let P represent the price before tax, then the price plus 0.05, meaning 5% times the price, is where the $20 came from. And we could solve this equation and solve to find the original price of the item before the sales tax was added.